Show you guys something here. Okay, so kind of working my way through the some of the renders of things here. Come on, and this is more along the lines for you guys demo reels. So obviously we got a final shot, or well, not final, but a lot closer to final. One that you could certainly put on your demo reel. And the way that I tend to like to do things in Premiere and for demo reel stuff is to have multiple multiple layers of things and do a wipe across. I know I've shown this to you guys before, but I'm going to show it to you again here. So this is like the color version of it here. So basically a full render. And this one over here is my ambient occlusion version. Oh, that's interesting. They are different. They look the same, I think. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, this whole thing needs to be 24 frames a second. And that's kind of messing things up here, but okay. Now, typically speaking, what I'll do is we'll start with a shot that looks like this. So this is ambient occlusion. Um, and it works pretty well. And basically all it is this, it's essentially a shading pass to really help you, see what you can add it to a lot of your renders to add um, more depth to the shadows, which I'll show you how that works in Nuke also. And so and this is a great way to just kind of show off that stuff is 3D rendered, and then what I typically will do is go into where is it? Or the transitions. There you go, video transitions. So let's say I'm going to do a wipe here, and it's just going to be a standard wipe, which goes like this. And essentially, we wipe across to the color version, and so um, something along those lines that gives you that really helps you sell what's been done. And I know that I find that stuff to be really helpful. And I typically will do one that is an ambient occlusion, maybe one that's a wireframe, and then wipe from one to the next to the next. And so I've set this up in I've been rendering out all these versions in at least in this sequence, and it really reads well on a demo reel, and kind of is a great professional way to show that stuff off. And so I'm going to show you guys where I'll share with you guys where these renders are without the text on the screen, which I put that in Nuke. Um, but we'll have these versions for that also. Does that make sense so far? I think that it's a really particularly useful way to show off your work. Um, One of the other things that we talked about yesterday was also doing a wireframe version of this, and Dion, this is why I have this open at the moment. So I have built a wireframe surface for this one, which which is pretty cool. I'll show you guys how that works, but um, okay. So basically, I'm just going to select on the horse here, and what comes up over in the horse is all the different surfaces, materials that are applied. You know, eyes, body, hooves, um, stuff like that. So it's a pretty well surfaced character. Element number 6 here is actually the body, and so I'm temporarily going to switch out. I have built a this is a wireframe version of it, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is. Essentially, this is my one real thing about Unreal is there's so many freaking windows. Okay, so essentially, in any material that you create, right? Like if you just right click and say new material, in that in that material, if you go to search for wireframe, there's a wireframe checkbox, turn on, turn off, that sort of thing, right? And turns it on. And basically, what I've done is just done a base color for it, which is just this kind of pink color, which I think is kind of cool. And then I've also put a parameter value in there for metallic, so it's got a bit of a shine to it, just because it's kind of interesting. And I've saved that. Come on, there we go. Those black on black windows are so hard to see sometimes. So I've got this material here, and I'm going to just take it and temporarily. Come on, did it crash? There we go. I'm going to drag and drop it directly into the body here. And now what this is doing is, you can see, is that it's made the horse wireframe, which is kind of cool. It's transparent. I'm going to go up into the camera cut section here, and I'm going to select horse cam B. So we're now looking through this. And what's kind of cool is, because it's got metallic properties to it, it's picking up the light. It's not just luminous for the sake of luminance values. It's actually got metallic properties, which interact with the light. So now, if I play it, we've got our wireframe horse, which I haven't done the ambient occlusion pass for this yet, because we're still not quite done with this sequence. But you could totally see, you could start with an ambient occlusion, so you've got this whole white with dark shaded version. Then you could wipe across to this wireframe version, and then wipe across again to the final version with the textured horse, and that will look really good on a demo reel. And so that's what I'm trying to get set up for you guys. So you've got that material to put on your reel. Um, these shots are gonna, I think, be really good to have for you guys. Um, while I'm in here, I do, Dion, I don't know, I'm assuming you're looking at this at the moment. I think something weird has happened with the texture on the on the fence here, because like on one side it's got It's got a wood texture, but on this side it's white, and um, I prefer it to be wood if at all possible. So
I don't remember it ever being any other color
then white or then
than white.
okay. Um, well, we can take a look at it. So anyway, so I'm gonna work to kind of help get you guys some wireframe versions of things also. And then it's gonna help to start to give you guys some really good stuff for your reels. The thing that I want you guys to focus on as we're moving towards the this week through this week is going back and finding projects that we've worked on. Maybe it's 3D sculpts from ZBrush. We had stuff that we did in After Effects. And if you haven't done, maybe if you missed like the astronaut or the green screen one that Brandon put together, I highly encourage you to go back and do those because there's some really good work in there that will look great on your demo reel. So and those are available, in the curriculum to go back and do them. But we really do want to get as many things on your reel as possible. If you're graduating, we do look to get as much stuff from the entire program on your reel as possible. So think back to modeling that we did almost a year ago in Maya and sculpting that we've done. And if you've not got them rendered, you guys know the process at this point. It's like get them into Unreal and set up a camera, set up a couple of cameras. You know how I like to do like a wide shot, the tight shot. Get those rendered out and get them into your demo reel so that we can you can do some cuts with it. And happy to go through it with you again if you've forgotten how to do renders. It's actually a pretty straightforward process, and so I'm happy to help you guys do that. But I do want you to be, if you don't have stuff in Unreal that you can use, and then let's start working towards that process of getting things in there. Well, we're wrapping up some of these shots for the final project here. So does that make sense? And that applies to everybody. That we do. If you're going to graduate, we do require that you turn in a demo reel. And then not just like one shot. It needs to be a good compilation of the work that you've done. So that is a graduation requirement. And so that's what I'm here for, and Cameron's here for. Just to
Do you have a, sorry to cut you off. Do you have
no,
an example that you can show them offhand?
um, I I can pull one up. I've got actually hold on one second. All right, can you guys see this? So this is John Jackson or John Aaron, and he now works in Shreveport. He used to live in Baton Rouge when I was teaching him, or Lafayette, I think, and has now moved up to Shreveport, and he's working for Troubled Muse. Really good student, and this is a really decent look at his reel. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but now this is work. A lot of this work is stuff that he just decided to do on his own too. But you can see those concepts are still there. So like an ambient occlusion to a wireframe. Um, and he got a job as a doing a lot of modeling. As you might imagine, he's pretty accomplished. But this is a great example of what some of this work would look like. Sounds like and this is his actually he actually sculpted this of himself. It's a pretty decent likeness of him actually. So anyway, so that would
I
be a
don't know why, but it looks like the prince from The Little Mermaid.
I could totally see that actually. That I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, he was certainly one of my more accomplished students, and was not at all surprised when he got a job like right away. So, but that's when I say transitioning from one from an ambient occlusion to wireframe to a rendered version. That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. So, I hope that does that help you guys at least to kind of get a view, and that's a reel that'll get you hired. So something in that vein. Um, does that make sense? You guys are quiet this morning, so
Okay, so I got
Yes,
confused
sir.
on the title treatment thing,
yeah, go ahead.
and I also need to do the demo reel stuff for both the advanced section and the
Hmm.
pro or premium.
Yeah,
Um,
you're
so the
really
idea was,
soft. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, I forgot to
There we go.
lower the
There we go.
microphone. It folds up, you know. So the idea was that I came up with last night was to go back to doing the portfolio stuff and then
Hmm.
take stills from the portfolio thing and use those stills to do because the assignment for the is to practice the 3D tile card
Right.
thing really and then like make make a little 10-second like intro with that
Yeah, definitely.
for the reels
The
to kind of
biggest thing,
two
yeah,
birds with one stone it.
no, that's fine. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. The biggest thing about your title card, and let me go back to his real quick, is it doesn't have to be. I'm going to just reshare my screen because it's a good point. Come on, Zoom. Right. So, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Although I like your thinking on it. Just basic name, what it is you're interested in doing, 3D generalist, and that was a very accurate description of his skill sets. Email, make it a professional email, not Pookie Bear 97 or something like that. Something that would be like connected to maybe your name, stuff like that. Or if you've got an online profile and you've got some sort of a handle that people would know you by, maybe it's that, right? So, um, but an easy to read email, phone number, and if you want to throw in, these are just logos that you can find for, this is Maya, Nuke, Unreal, ZBrush, and what is this one? I don't know that one.
Blender
That's Cinema 4D.
Cinema
Is that
4D.
Cinema 40? Okay. I was
Cinema 4D seems like the one to learn.
and Brandon, go.
It definitely, most definitely is. It's my primary 3D program, and I love it.
See, testament from a happy user. I am not a big Cinema 4D fan. I take that back. I'm a fan. I'm not a user. If that makes sense. But I love what it can do, and I love what I've seen Brandon be able to do with it. So, um, yeah, it's certainly if I were going to advise you to learn another one, and Cameron may very well disagree with me on this statement too, but I think Cinema 4D maybe would be the next one, and then maybe Blender after that. So there certainly is work in both, on all three of them actually. To be completely honest. So
I would say learn all of them if you can.
yeah, if you can.
It just depends on what path that you want to take first. If you want to get into more commercial design, like product design and architecture and things like that, Cinema 4D is huge in that area, right? Motion design, you can't live in the industry for motion design without Cinema 4D. So
Yeah.
if you're wanting to go that path, there's just so many things that you can do. And so, yeah, but yeah, now Unreal Engine is kind of taking over motion design now. There's just
Yeah.
Unreal. I mean, if I had to guess in the next 5 years, Unreal will take over the industry fully and completely for everything. So
It's definitely going that direction. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I mean, I can just see like Unreal Engine 6 introducing modeling, Unreal Engine 7 introducing, an editor like Nuke has or whatever, like a Nuke built in Unreal Engine or
Right.
something
Well,
like
they
that.
already have
Or
modeling.
Yeah, they've already got a modeler in there.
is it like Maya though?
Not quite.
That's what I'm
No,
saying. I'm
it's
saying
not
like
quite there.
it's like Maya modeling.
It'll get there. I mean, I don't disagree with you at all, actually, because it's, we're in that zone where it's close, and they're making so many strides forward with it that that it just makes perfect sense to keep everything under one hood, if at all possible. And then I would say the next thing that I would look at is they'll probably find an even better way to integrate it with Nuke and with After Effects, or bake in its own compositing system in a really robust way. It's not quite there yet. They've got some composite stuff for it, but it's not quite there. But it will be, because they see exactly um what the industry is, where the industry is going with stuff. So that's definitely coming. I do look forward to what Unreal 6 is gonna unleash. So um yeah. Anybody got any questions, thoughts? Anybody have anything they want to show that they've been working on?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
If you were one of the many people with the group project who had been assigned